All right, hello everyone. My name is Ashley93o, by the way, and this is Control. This is a game developed by Remedy Entertainment. If you've never heard of them, you've probably heard of games such as Max Payne, Quantum Break, and Alan Wake. It's a very, very cool game. Joined with me today are these fine gentlemen on my couch. You want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm kaare. I am a glitch hunter, and I have the 100% world record.
I'm Lunarhostility. I run Control 80%.
I'm demonicrobots. I've run a couple of the categories, but I'm also a control runner.
All right, so we're going to be doing all bosses instead of any percent. All bosses is pretty much we're going to be beating the game, but we're also going to be defeating all 10 bosses that we can get access to in the base game. A boss is distinguished by anything that has a large defined health bar at the bottom of the screen, you know, like from software game style, like Dark Souls. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to hit new game here. And that's just a mod that we'll explain what the mod does in a little bit. And then timing is going to start after I skip this cutscene here. So if y'all want to count me down.
3, 2, 1, go. All right. So welcome to Control. This is Jesse Faden.
You know what I just forgot? I'm so sorry. I just forgot the auto hotkey. Yeah, I forgot the auto hotkey. Give me 1 second here. I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah. So the auto hotkey is just like rebinding the jump to the scroll wheel. And we use that for a bunch of stuff in the game. We'll explain that later.
1 second here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, cool.
All right, cool.
All right, I think we're good to go. Yeah, it's down there. All right. Okay, so sorry about that. All right, we're hitting a new game here. If y'all want to count me down for real this time.
Yeah. Warning.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Let's
For real this time.
All right. So welcome to Control. This is Jesse Faden. Jesse Faden is currently on her way of the classic boomer tale of working her way up from the janitor's assistant to the director of the entire facility. So the Federal Bureau of Control is essentially like the FBI, but for spooky things like paranormal objects. If you've ever seen SCP, very similar to that. Jesse is currently looking for her brother Dylan, who they were separated when they were younger, and she's been searching for him for so long, and she finally got a lead. So she's here alone, except for the voice in her head, Polaris, and they kind of came in at the worst possible moment. So they're going to end up basically trying to find her brother, and ends up, you know, getting into a little bit of a complicated situation, which is going to start right about here. She got promoted. Let's go.
As you said, classic boomer tale, immediate.
Yeah.
The run also starts with a bang, as you can see.
Literally.
So this isn't the object of power, the first one that we're going to run into, the service weapon. And this is essentially like Excalibur, and it does things like this. We are now transported to what's called the astral plane. Whenever you see these in our run, typically it's going to be kind of a tutorial area in order to teach you the mechanics of whatever you just got. So we have just acquired something called the service weapon. The service weapon is the only weapon in our game. It is unlimited ammo, however, it has a limited energy bar. So
okay.
If you know Dark Souls, you know how the stamina bar, when it runs out completely, it takes a little bit longer than just getting it right down to the end and then letting it refill.
Yeah,
it works
wait there.
very similar to that. So a big part of this is going to be managing our energy ammo in order to be most optimal during these combat sections. So this is the first example of this, where it's supposed to be a tutorial, and we're trying to be landing headshots and then finishing it up with a melee.
And then also there's a lot of camera manipulation involved in making sure that enemies spawn exactly where they did right there. Let's go. Finishing up with the astral plane, and we're coming up into one of the first fights. This is kind of cool. We're going to jump, try and get the headshot there. It's a little tricky, but we did manage to get 3. So now we're coming back down. And one of the examples of the camera manipulation that's most kind of visually obvious is going to be coming up in a second. You'll see him run right here, whip the camera around there. And then when we come back, there we go. Enemies are going to spawn right there. We're going to continue taking them out in a really efficient fashion. You can see that, like Demonic was saying, there's a combination of these melees as well as these bullets. There's going to be a constant management of both of those things. There's a double kill. Let's go. That's how we're going to really use those two together to make sure that we're clearing enemies quickly. As he was saying before, this is a mini boss. It is not a full boss because it doesn't have a health bar in the category, but it's necessary in order for us to get the first control point. And I know you're going to probably be able to break down Demonic, like good control points, what they are, bonfires.
Yep. So if you've ever seen Doctor Who, you know what the TARDIS is, how it's bigger on the inside than the outside. This building, which is called the oldest house, is very similar to that. However, it's also moving. It's an ever-moving, shifting plane. So these control points are kind of like anchor spots where they know it's not going to move, and they essentially act as bonfires. So we can heal from them, we can change out mods, we can upgrade our abilities, and we can also fast travel between them. Whenever we quit to menu as well, we are teleported to the last control point that we touched.
Yeah, and you're going to see a quit the menu here in a second here. As he said, it just brings us back to the last checkpoint. And we're going to be talking to a new character here, Emily Pope. And we got some Emily Pope fans here. But she's stationed right behind the control point. So every time we go and talk to her, we just quit out to menu and we hit continue, and it just saves a little bit of walking. You would think that maybe that's a little slower in an RTA setting, but when this BC loads as fast as it does, it actually saves like 2-3 seconds.
Yeah.
So that was the first mission down. Now we're on to Unknown Caller. Winner, take it away.
Absolutely. So this is going to be another one of these early combat sequences we were talking about where the optimization is really important. Jump through, melee, shoot him, turn to the right. When you look to the left here, you see it's really specific how he wants to manipulate these spawns over here with this camera. We got the good RNG right there. Let's go. Let's see on the last wave. We're down. Nice.
Perfect.
Let's go. That's exactly what we want to see out of that room.
Well done.
Yeah, well done. Coming into here, this is another example. We want to kill that enemy or shoot him as much as possible. Oh, we got the one on the left. Sick. Right there is a good example. Oh, I'm going to see. Double kill. Let's go. Those are just pretty flashy, a lot of fun. Pretty difficult to set up, but we've got it. We've gotten through here, claim the control point. Let's go. We are now going to be going, I believe, Brian, you said in your run, you said this is probably the best sound effect in the game. It's going to be coming up in just 1 second.
We'll be really quiet for it.
Exactly.
Trust me, it's worth it. Donk.
Great. And just really quick before we get into other stuff, we're going to be coming up here, getting one of these objects, which Demonic's been talking about. But there's a quick skip here. It's up the back of the ladder. Let's go. That can be a little tricky. First try. Let's go. We're going to be getting our ability launched. We'll be talking about this a lot more in depth later, but basically that she's able to throw objects with the power of her mind. This is going to do a lot of damage, and you'll be seeing it on a lot of combat sequences.
This is literally our bread and butter for the rest of the game, pretty much.
Yeah. Another cool thing is whenever we get a new object, we almost immediately break the game with it right outside once we get out of the tutorial. And this is the perfect example and where you'll see the first difference between all bosses and any percent after we get some pull-throughs. So whenever you pull the object, it'll pull it towards Jessie and then she can shoot it outwards. If it hits anything on the way to her or on the way to another enemy, it can hit multiple enemies, and we try to chain those together.
And then we're coming up on Major Glitch, which I know you guys are going to break down up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right going into our first boss fight.
Yep, so we are going to be doing a clip. Essentially, we can pick up the object and Jessie can get inside of it. When you're holding it, it has no collision. When you drop it, it gets its collision back. And whenever Jessie is stuck inside of something, the game will try to push her upwards to get out of it.
Oh,
and now we flip to the floor.
First try, let's go.
And then we are coming up to the very first boss. If you've ever played this game casually, this was probably a barrier for you. This is a very difficult boss. We have, like Ashley said, we have 10 bosses in the run. Normally in 8%, we actually skip this boss. However, here, this is the first required boss. And as you can see, he's doing a really good job of it. You try to get those headshots, and you try to get him to dodge before you pull
Nice.
object, but he just killed it.
Go, Newt. Really quick, one of the things I'll say is the Control community has some of the best glitch names out of everyone. And so that one right there, the boss is named Tomasi. So the clip that Demonic was laying out, it's called No Mossy. That's how you're able to get right through there with that clip.
Ironically, since we have to fight him anyways, we only use that because it's a straighter line to go through the wall than it is to run all the way around the way that they intended us to go.
It goes from like a minute save to like a 10-second save.
Yeah.
It's still time save. Here we are in the Ocean View Motel. This is essentially a short little puzzle that kind of protects something. So here it's protecting a bridge that we are crossing over to go pick up something called the hotline. This is also another object of power. It basically allows Jesse to talk to both essentially the building itself as well as people who have died. So we're actually going to be talking a little bit to Director Trench, who is actually Max Payne, you guys didn't know. But even though he died, we saw him earlier in the game, we actually can still get like memories from him via the bullet that's lodged in his brain that was fired from the service weapon.
The stuff you say whenever you're trying to explain this game to someone, man, I swear.
It's a very like supernatural, surreal style game. So if that's your kind of thing, if you like Twin Peaks or SCP again, very much it wears its inspirations on its sleeves.
Pretty awesome set of inspirations as well. Obviously, we love this game, but truly, you should definitely check it out if you haven't yet. Pretty special, pretty unique blend of different influences.
And then this is also going to be a better example of our first quit to menu. So we're going to touch the object, and we are now going to quit to menu, and that's going to take us back to the control point that we cleansed, and then we can use that to teleport back to the executive sector branch. And now we can go talk to Emily, and we should be able to finish this quest. So the first boss that we did, that was the big change from any %. Now we kind of get a little bit of a break. This is going to be similar to any %, but eventually it's really going to change.
Absolutely. So, and I believe you said before, it's long periods of kind of tech, glitches, movement and stuff, and then blocks of bosses that we're going to be doing later.
So unfortunately, due to some unforeseen technical issues, we aren't going to be able to go for the Slidey McGunny trick. But if you do want to see what that looks like, you should definitely check out Bry's run from 2020 at GDQ.
Like I said before.
Sorry, that was it's really micro.
Yeah, that
was a cool skit. Sorry.
Yeah, you open up the elevator menu after you interact with it again by double tapping the interact key, and it saves like 3 or 4 seconds.
It's
there.
really, really tight, and it's really hard.
Can help me reach the
But because I'm not going for Slidey, the routing is going to be a little bit different here because I'm going to be using some new strats. But for the most part, it's going to look a little bit like how it does when I'm doing this at home. So we're going to throw this. We're going to get rid of these guys. And funny thing is, this control point is actually completely broken if you run from here from the start of the level. It just doesn't. It's just not set up so you can interact with it for whatever reason. So it's just faster to clip through the wall there, obviously. So we're going to hit that. We're going to blow up this forklift because it is actually the easiest prop to get out of bounds with for whatever reason. We're going to kill this guy, come out here, and then we're going to do some tricky movement right here.
Yeah, so that mantle right there, that mantle right there is actually impossible to do without tech. And he's basically shifting the direction he's holding to the mantle. But right now we're actually coming up on the major movement ability, and this is a side quest. So it's not necessary for
technically, technically a side quest.
But you have to get it. Like, you can't not get it. But what we're gonna do is we're first gonna do a skip called Astral Boink. We kind of go outside of the intended play area and mantle on some objects out of bounds. And then we're gonna do what's called a super wave dash. And super wave dashing is something that I found a little over a year ago. And it is essentially, we manipulate, there's a setup, and what that setup does is it gets Jesse stuck into the ground, and then when you dash next time, you'll see it right here.
There we go.
You get a lot of speed.
The energy management, everything about that's really tight. So that's pretty sick first try.
So essentially, it just cancels a dash.
There's
so
going to be another one right here.
Yeah.
That's what that looks like.
Sometimes, it's a very tricky thing to do, and sometimes you just go flying forward.
Yeah. It just preserves the speed from the dash way longer, and it's way more efficient because your energy can actually recharge while you're moving, and that's the essential part. It's just way more energy efficient.
Yeah, so as you can see on the top of the screen, we have an energy bar now. This affects both the launch, so how we throw things, and the evade, how we dash forward, and they both share from the same pool.
All right, I'm not going to lie, the skip is kind of scary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I accidentally hit my Windows key.
Very scary.
All right, we fell in bounds. That's fine, though.
That's fine, we can fix that.
And we got the menu lag.
So what ended up happening right there is what we were trying to do is we're trying to go above the ceiling and we're skipping a dialogue with Ati, who basically tells us, hey, go fix these 2 things. We don't want to do that. We just want to go to the very end, shut down the directorial override and skip all of that.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Since I messed that up, I'm actually gonna stop here and go out of my way to get the shield ability. 'Cause we're gonna need that.
Oh,
Also,
shout out
Shout out
NVIDIA.
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 Yeah. Okay. So right now he's getting early shield. So the shield ability, it was actually mentioned previously. But the
All
shield
right, there we
ability,
go. That was scary.
The shield
That was
ability,
really hard.
the shield ability is the most versatile movement ability in the game, which is quite ironic because like it's a shield. Why can you move with a shield? But essentially what you can do is you could deload the area around the shield and then lets us do some really wanky things that you'll see later. And we'll explain it a lot more in depth. But the thing that's essential in early shield is that normally you actually have more health. So right now he's doing it at 0 health upgrade.
Yeah, we're kind of a glass cannon at the moment.
Yeah.
It wants you to be using the shield in order to protect yourself. However, that's really slow.
Yeah, we're not doing any of that.
And you can actually, something that you might not know is that Jesse can actually get headshot. And if he does that, then you don't have any health left, basically. You can get headshot, I think, 2 times, and then you're just dead.
But fortunately, none of that happened.
Yeah.
And we're now finishing up the shield trial. Let's go.
Another way the health works in this game is that you actually get health by shooting enemies and dealing damage to them. They'll drop like little Tic Tacs, and when you pick those up, it regains your health. There's also one-shot protection. So if an enemy's going to do 150% of your HP, it'll do 99 and make your screen red. And if it's red while it's going
Yeah,
through
that's the movement.
yeah. If it's red while that and you take more damage, then you die. So you have like a little bit of safety later on, and especially it's really important later on.
There we go.
So essentially, yeah, so
No, this is so cool. We talk about it so casually, but the way it's like, oh, we're picking up a fridge now. Sure, that's just a normal thing, and then run. Then we're getting on top of it, climbing up here, heading back down, coming in here. Oh, now we're at the end of the override level. We're going to do this fight, and we managed to finish the mission.
yeah. So what we've just done is essentially the levels work on triggers.
Could I get game audio up, by the way, just a little bit?
Yeah, so we've just skipped all of Artie's quests. So this mission basically works like there's a central energy unit.
That's good. That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a central energy unit, and Artie wants us to like fix it. So that's slow. So we don't want to do that. So right now we're just doing laser assistant skip, and that we basically do that by hitting all the triggers that are necessary for progressing to the next mission.
I think the power plant's having a meltdown right now, but that's just not really our problem. We're just gonna get on with our business, you know.
And now,
Yeah.
override done.
Yeah.
We're heading into another mission too. This one's going to be really hype. Well, we think it's all really hype, but it's definitely going to be, there's going to be a lot of really cool combat and other stuff. You see right here, we are upgrading our launch ability as much as possible. That's so that we can start one-shotting enemies in a way that we weren't able to before.
Yeah. So this game kind of does actually have a little bit of RPG mechanics. So the enemies do have levels. Because we're skipping all of the side content, we're not using any of the mods, we're not using pretty much none of the other forms of the service weapon, we are actually really under-leveled later on, and making our launch 5 kind of makes up for that.
Yeah. So right now we're coming up on actually our first shieldy skip, and the shieldy is we use
new.
the shield.
It's brand new.
Yeah, it's brand new. And essentially what we're doing is we're deloading the area, or we're entering an area where the game is deloaded and pulling up our shield and dashing.
Uh-oh, this is weird. This is weird. I'm gonna go back and try that again.
But yeah, we fly. That's the gist of it, which is really, really cool. And it's actually also a really, really tight movement as well.
Oh, come on.
Because we have to get into a door specifically, and we can't get too high, or else it just won't work.
I'm gonna give this one more go. One more go.
It's important to note that this shieldy glitch is not like no clip where you can just fly perfectly. He's holding like 2 different directions, mashing space, and like using his mouse to control it. There's multiple different ways, so it's not just like the easiest thing in the world. You actually have to like be very tight with your movement.
One of the things
I have no idea what's.
Is it gonna work?
We'll see.
It looked like it hit all the triggers. Are we
Let's go! Let's go!
With HP to spare.
That's so hard. It's so hard. You don't know anything. It's so hard.
But We are all good now, and we are into one of the coolest combat sequences in this game, Old Boys Club. We're taking out the first set of enemies down here. Coming up here, there's a certain set amount of enemies. You're going to see them kind of looking around a little bit. That's because it's easy to let one of them kind of get stuck in the corner. They tend to hide out just a little bit, but we're not doing any of that. We are nuking enemies with launch. Coming up here. Let's go. There's going to be a mini boss in a sec. And this is all stuff that Demonic was talking about earlier in terms of, you'll see here, he pulls that object through, throws it right back at him. That's going to increase the damage like Demonic had laid out earlier. And you're just going to keep seeing that over and over again in these combat sequences. Pull through.
You make it look so easy.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Let's
everyone.
go. OBC combat down. First part.
All right, so because of the way that I did that skip is kind of weird. For whatever reason, the level just gets really dark after that. So after this, I'm gonna quit out and reload just so it's easy for you guys to see. Yeah, okay.
One thing to also look out for is during this chapter, we are trying to get some materials, intrusive patterns, and astral blips. We need these in order to unlock a different form of the service weapon.
I didn't get the. Oh no.
Wait, what?
I didn't get the checkpoint.
You might have pulled away a little too early before it went through.
Yeah.
We can show the normal clip as well. By the
go down into there, I think.
I will say one of the things. Remember the thing all the way back at the beginning Demonic was saying about when we get a power, we start breaking the game immediately? This game starts getting pretty confused when we start going this fast in these sorts of routing.
Especially this section, because it's a Metroidvania, essentially. So we're designed to come back here later with different things and interact with different systems. So sometimes a little bit of weird stuff does happen from this. We should be able to get back.
Oh, now we're back in bounds. Nice.
Oh, well then.
Just proving that you can do it twice.
Yeah,
it wasn't a fluke.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, we usually don't have to do all that running, but I guess I just quit out a little bit too early.
Yep.
Yeah, so we are getting these materials because we're actually going to unlock a service weapon form. You don't use different weapons in the game, you do use different forms. So it's the same gun, but it's like a sniper, a shotgun, an SMG. We're getting the sniper version. We normally don't get that in any percent. It's not really worth it. However, in all bosses, it's going to be really useful, especially for one specific one later on.
We're gonna come over here, and these enemies can be pretty annoying. You'll be seeing them later on. They come up to you, explode kind of immediately, but as you saw just a second ago, we did that right there. We can melee, dash away. That gives us a little bit of iframes, and obviously kills them a bit faster than backing up and shooting with the gun.
Nice.
But there's nothing to talk about anymore because they're all dead. Let's go.
Yeah. Something that might... Okay, so you can pull up the map, I guess.
Oh,
yeah. Notice that.
Yes, this elevator, it goes sideways.
Yeah. And something actually important to know is that you can actually skip the elevator, but we actually choose not to do that in this category because of the mat.
Yeah, we have to do we want to do the extra fights just so we know we have the materials to get that weapon form later.
Yeah. Because that weapons form really makes
That was a good one.
That's really good.
We're
Then, Demonic, do you want to talk about ritual division and how this fight's so tricky?
This is the hardest fight in the game. So he needs to actually keep his camera facing forward.
Nice.
So we need to make sure no enemies spawn behind us. The reason is we need to manipulate the next spawning enemies. And if we are looking in any other direction but forward, they will spawn behind us in the far corners. So because of that, we want to keep our camera as far forward as we can, which can be kind of tricky if you miss one or two enemies.
Where is he?
Where is he?
And these enemies love to be annoying.
They love to
hide.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
We
might screw up our spawns, but that's fine. Okay, they're over here. That's
Cool.
okay.
That's slightly better. This is kind of one of the hardest fights in the entire game for the simple fact that there's so much combat in it and you have to do so much right. And you don't have a lot of like ability to it. You don't have a lot of energy, so you have to like kind of space it out. These guys like to explode. They're really annoying, but he did a very good job with that.
Nice.
But we're not going to be able to claim the control just yet because we have a mini boss coming up, and a lot of those same strats that we've been talking about this whole time are going to come into play here. Pull through is here, doing stuff like this, but you see he has a little shield that comes up here and there. It's a bit of annoying. That's why we launch objects into him because that removes it. And there'll be a couple of spawns on the side of different kind of enemies, but our focus is obviously the big boy right here. We want to take him out as fast as possible. Out with the melee, let's go.
Anyone else? There he is.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
There we go.
Oh, last guy.
Oh. It's usually
they love to hide.
Nice. It's usually 3 enemies. Sometimes it likes to spawn 4
perfect.
for funsies.
All right, so I'm going to talk about the mod that popped up at the beginning. My buddy Kevin, who's here right now, he made it. So there is a little bit of RNG when we do this run with the mats that we pick up, and he basically sort of fixed it for me, just so that we don't have to worry about for a marathon setting. It also, in addition to that, it guarantees a few mod drops. So I equipped them at the beginning. It's energy renewal, so we get some of our energy back from headshots, and then we also get an energy recovery boost, which makes our energy recharge a little bit faster. In addition to that, we get a minus 12% dodge efficiency and some damage boost that we'll use later. We don't actually, like, the run isn't super, like, dependent on getting those drops or not. It's just nice to have, really. It just gives us wiggle room, which is nice, especially in a marathon setting. Here we have, like, a hard filter for a lot of the people that picked this game up.
Yeah, so it's a puzzle, and it's pretty boring. So I actually kind of want to talk a little bit about the movement.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So basically, what's essential when you're doing the movement is that you don't want to hold any movement keys, it was like a lot of the movement was actually discovered like years ago. But the one thing that people didn't know was that you don't want to hold W. So like people would do like these complicated things, and they would just not go anywhere. And then I would discover that you just don't hold any keys.
Nice.
You'll go all the way.
It's unintuitive, but we have Old Boys Club down.
I went to the wrong one.
Oh, Saj.
But we're heading into Threshold, which I know.
Well, we're not doing Threshold yet. We're going to do...
that's right. We're going to copy.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
So this is an optional boss. Normally, this is to unlock another power called Seize, where you essentially take control of an enemy and have them fight for you. We're not going to really use that, but we do get this really cool shieldy. It's going to land.
We're good.
Nice.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Good.
So we touch this X-ray machine, and it lets us get into people's heads. There's a theme there, as you can tell. This boss has a horrible gimmick where you need to seize enemies in order to fight it. We can't do any damage to it.
All right,
it's all RNG.
So we get this guy. We're gonna call him Michael. I think that's a nice name. Yeah, let's go Michael. Let's go Michael.
Michael's gonna be nice to us.
Yep.
Gonna do a bunch
He's
of
gonna
damage.
be nice. And then Todd just spawned in, so
All right, Todd.
let's get Todd to back him up.
We don't use this during the run at all outside of this one little section.
Yeah.
It's
Michael's going off.
Oh, come on, Michael.
Michael's going off. Let's go.
1v1.
Oh no, he's getting.
Ooh, they're going around the corner.
He's won. He's won.
One shot. And
nice.
Go.
Let's clap for
Let's
Michael.
go, Michael.
We could have been there for another like minute, and we wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. So we got really good luck there.
Yeah, it's fully RNG.
Now before we go into Threshold, we're in a. Actually, I don't know if we'll be able to get it here.
Is it?
Oh, okay. We're in a bit of a
We'll
tripper
tell
drown situation.
We'll tell them. Nice.
Let's
We've
go.
come to get the dimensional suit. Early, this is an awesome outfit from Jesse, and so a little bit of a swag strat. We're gonna go get it early just so we can wear it for the rest of the run. Nice. I jumped the gun on this earlier, but this is Threshold. This is, I believe you told me some time ago, this is like known as like, this is the threshold for a run.
This is the threshold. If you get past this, you have a really good run. If you don't, this is where it dies.
All right, so we're dripping now.
Nice. And essentially, where other people break down the particulars of it, but there's going to be a lot of shields in kind of rapid succession.
Yeah, we've kind of been like, interjecting glitches into like the quest, but we've been following.
So real
it.
quick, just to explain how this works, like you said, you kind of just unload and reload the world around the shields. So what we do is we will fast travel between 2 points within the same map, and then it just gives us shield physics. So we're going to be flying through here, flying through this pipe, and then right to the Ocean View Hotel.
Nice. Well done. So,
we knew that worked because the light was on at the end. That means that he flew in a really specific way, which made sure that he hit the trigger, and we're able to come out here and go back into the Ocean View.
Yeah, something that's really important to note about Shieldy is that it isn't just no clip. It's actually really complicated to do. There's a lot of nuances in specific about the way you're jumping.
And the way that you're looking, like using your camera.
The angle that you're looking at, you actually really have to pay attention to where you're looking because you can't look where you're going. You always have to like look at kind of straight. And you can also go a little bit down. The essence of trying to do this well is that you're basically fighting height because when you're doing shielding, you kind of get pushed up.
in this one where we're actually going to try to get some height right here.
Yeah.
But slowly.
Not too
You want to
much.
control it, yeah.
Oh, we're a little bit too high. That's fine.
It's fine. We can
drop
get
back in.
bounds. Yeah.
I can't see. There we are.
So,
Nice.
Yeah. Right now we're basically doing this level all out order, and right now there's
Yeah, this is like the last area we go through.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Right.
And as for what's happening in the lore, we had that puzzle where we fixed something called the HRA machine. It allows basically people who are not Jesse, who's a badass, to essentially like not get infected by something called the hiss, which is what's taken over and creating these guys. So they have a machine that makes the machine, or makes the stuff that goes over them. They lost what was called Black Rock, and the Black Rock is what essentially makes those HRA machines work. So we're going to go to the Black Rock quarry in order to pick up a piece of it so we can fix the machine and get more people out of like the safe rooms.
Nice. So right now we are getting up on the Banshee. This is the most annoying enemy in the game, like by far. Especially in one of the boss fights that you'll be seeing later, which Ashley will crush, no doubt, 100%. But this is the Banshee. He's gonna spawn in.
We're going to pick up an object. This
Yeah.
is pull-throughs right here. You'll see it in action. Pull it back through, throw
And
it,
now he's
let's
dead.
go,
Beautiful.
dead
Nice.
immediately.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Right, and that was a trigger that we needed to hit, and now we are going to do another shieldy, and we are going to get.
We're gonna try and throw the needle here.
Yeah.
This isn't a shield that we usually do at home, but for the sake of saving loading screens, we're gonna go for this one.
All right, so he's basically trying to get through a door. This is very precise. It's very, very hard. And he's also entering multiple loading zones, which makes it hard to do shieldy. Because shieldy is,
Hold on.
Oh, I think that was it.
yeah, you can back
We're
it up.
gonna see. We're gonna see.
We're waiting for our energy to get back up.
Oh, yeah,
I call that the credit card.
that makes sense. But yeah, this is very, very precise. And again, we want to get height, but
Oh,
not
I
too
think
much.
we got it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
and this
this
is
is
the
also-
quarry Demonic was talking about.
Yeah, so-
Yeah, we got it for sure.
Nice.
Nice. Let's go.
So, like I said, this is a great example of the game's weirdness. We're in the middle of New York in a random government building, and there's just
Look at this sky here,
with
man.
sky, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah.
So now we have our piece of the Black Rock quarry, and now we can finally.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I was not 100% until we saw that interaction.
I was confident.
I guess, Demonic, can you explain what you use the Black Rock for?
Yeah, so the Black Rock, like I said, is used to make the HRA anchors that are on every character except for Jesse. And one reason we needed to do that is because our brother, Dylan, is actually in this building. So we're actually going to go to him right now, but because we are the director, we're fixing everybody's problems. So we have to fix one more problem before we have Jesse's motivation back and we can actually go talk to her brother, Dylan.
Yes.
By the
So-
way, that's threshold completed. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So, right now we are entering one of the hardest missions in the game, probably.
Especially for this category.
Yes, yes. So we are doing some movement here, which is very good demonstration of the movement as well. And we are going to do this fight. It's a very cool pull-through stack.
I missed it. That's fine.
Nice.
Well, here's the thing. They're all going to be dead fast.
Yeah.
True.
You saw him, just real quick, you saw him shoot an object there to kind of blow it up in advance. It's just a good example of little subtleties in the combat.
Nice.
Let's go.
We're also going to shoot that just to save a little bit of time.
Yes. So coming up is actually a prop clip where, if you remember the Ocean View Motel earlier, that is actually a physical place in the map. And we can actually, if we get out of bounds, if we know where that place is, we can actually skip all of it and like just clip into the late part of the map.
Come
part
on.
of that.
Yeah, the cherry blossom
There we
tree
go.
there.
Yeah. Cool. So right now we are coming up on something really interesting. It is called a SIP, I believe.
A Noom.
Neum.
A Noom, yeah, sorry. So it is essentially sometimes the mantle gets messed up and we teleport right here.
Right there.
We teleported like 10 feet ahead. And right now Ash is doing a setup where he is entering the Ocean View Hotel.
Perfect.
Perfect. Let's go. Like you do.
Yeah.
Dash under a staircase, then fall off the edge and end up in a hotel. Just totally normal things in Control.
Yeah. We're going to be doing that later as well. to enter a boss fight. And that was just a little bit of backtracking to get a trigger.
Yeah, if you ever see like weird stuff, those are the reason why we can't just like
Know each other.
zip straight to the end, is we need to hit all of those specific triggers that are going on in the game.
Grow up to be.
Yeah, so coming up is Langston, our first meeting with the Keeper of the Panopticon.
In here.
And we're going to spend a little bit of time here.
He's like an SCP whisperer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is basically like a jail / storage area for object of powers or altered items, what they're called.
And Dylan.
And Dylan, yeah.
And then this is an unfortunate part where, like, just because of the nature of Shieldy, we have to like do a lot of fast traveling just to go back, set it up, and then fast travel back to where we actually want to go. I'm also going to grab an energy upgrade because I don't think I did that.
Oof.
Oh,
No, he got it. Let's go.
Didn't even need it.
Yeah, that was just so clean. That was so clean. That is really, really hard because you have to notice when you can go in.
yeah. We usually skip that at any %, but we actually need it for all bosses because of if anyone remembers Philip, we actually got to go help Philip out after this.
Yeah.
He was the guy while we were zooming past going, Ayo.
Yeah.
We'll be revisiting Philip's plight.
Yeah. No worries.
This is also like the most like different mission. Like this is where it really starts to change from any % to all bosses. And ever since Shieldy was found, this route or this level has been probably the biggest change. Like it's just constantly evolving, finding new strats, and so it's gonna look really weird, but it's also really cool.
Cool.
Oh.
So we're actually setting up to not a skip of a boss fight, but actually we are doing something really interesting.
Yeah.
where-
We break his AI so he doesn't
Yes.
actually fight back.
Yep.
So activating.
And then if we have to land right here,
Perfect,
now we
yeah.
know that we can interact with the enemies.
Yeah.
So
Except for Salvador, who just seems to be taking a bit of a break and is not going to fight us.
he's very sleepy, I guess.
yeah.
Seems to be.
He's just stuck up there and won't activate, and he's very, very easy to take down. Now.
This is the only time this happens in the game, by the way. Every other boss we fight in more or less a legit way. This is also the only boss that we fight in any % too, so it doesn't help my point very well.
Where are these guys?
Yeah, so this fight is very much because as Salvador he's broken, then it becomes very much more about fighting the enemies on the ground and fighting.
Yeah, and they're
those.
running around right now.
Yeah,
It's just like the
So
ritual
bad.
division we were talking about. They love to be annoying and hide in all sorts
that was
of
everyone.
places. Let's go.
Nice, let's go.
Now we're getting levitate.
Now we fly. Let's fly, bro.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
fly.
Okay.
And then I know Demonic breaks down how important this ability is.
Yeah, so this is one of the actual required abilities in the game, and we use this a lot. The game really, I think Brown has said before, the game gives you like the perfect tools to navigate like out of bounds and do all this really cool stuff, which is just amazing. But we're also going to be using this to break the game a little bit. So it does change our Shieldy a bit. It's going to be a little bit safer to do so because at the end of the day, if we need to, we can just get a lot of height and this slowly float down. But it also does change some of the specifics of it compared to when we didn't have it.
You don't die nearly as much when you do that with levitate than you do without.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a chance that you just die spontaneously when you shield it without levitate, and that won't happen anymore. So it's a lot safer just in general.
Because one thing to note is in this game, when you fall and you die from falling.
Oh,
Right, I got kicked out of it. That's fine though.
When you fall and you die or take damage, it doesn't matter the actual distance. It matters how long Jesse's in that falling animation. And when we're in Shieldy, it can technically create that falling animation, so we can just die by landing on absolutely nothing.
Okay, I'm doing the any % version, I guess.
fair enough.
Sweet.
We're going to break out Dylan. We're going to break him out pretty fast.
Oh, I think you're
Am I too high?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are.
it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's fine.
We can't get back through there from the ceiling. It's just one of the unique kind of things about
Yeah.
the Panopticon. There's so many quirks on all these
Something-
maps, and
Yeah,
you can get
something
in.
that's actually pretty important that we actually forgot is that to get the weapon that we were talking about earlier, which is very important, Ash will actually have to do this whole thing up until now deathless completely, because there's this resource called Source that you get from killing enemies, and you actually lose a little bit of it, like in Dark Souls, when you die, like 10%. So Ash is very, very
Look
good
at this
it.
jailbreak. Look
Nice.
at
There we
this.
go.
How did we pull that off? Coming in from the back. Oh, there we go. Now he's
Go.
We got there.
There we go.
Turns out Dylan is okay, he's still alive. He's still he's a little weird, little different. Might have been infected by the hiss just like a teeny bit, but he still has his capacity.
Oh yeah, he just got the gun.
Yeah, sweet. So normally we'd go back and go talk to him. However, this is where all bosses come into play. So we have to do a couple of side missions, and this is the first one, fridge duty.
Oh.
So we're basically, Philip is staring at a fridge, and if he looks away from it, the fridge will move and do damage to people. So that's why they always have to have someone with constant eye contact. They forgot about him. He's been in there for like 2 or 3 days staring at a fridge. So Jesse is going in there to go kind of relieve him until they can get an actual person in there.
Yeah.
We're actually going to try and save him here. Because if you play this casual, you'll know that Philip just dies no matter what you do. But since we can... Oh, no, the forklift fell out of it. Okay, he dies. He dies. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Prop clips, and again, this is just one of the little unique things about it. Objects can get stuck in the ceiling, things like that, but it's okay because we're going into this boss fight.
That pop clip specifically is actually pretty hard as well. It's very inconsistent.
So we are coming up to the former. This boss is essentially, we'll see here in a second. We also get a great example of our sniper upgrade. You have to kind of wait for it to charge up, and you can't hold it for too long. So we have a giant worm with a giant eye. We are trying to hit that giant worm's eye.
That was good.
As much as we can, and 50% off the bat is great. He will basically kind of go back and forth in these different spots and do damage and break the floor below you. But this is looking like, is it going to be a 2-cycle?
Very close.
Almost.
2-cycle is kind of the best case scenario, but a 3-cycle is also amazing too.
That was still so clean.
Thank you. All right, so now we're gonna go tell Langston that Philip unfortunately didn't make it. I'm so sorry, Philip.
This is also going to unlock his next side quest. This upcoming side quest, Langston's Runaways, it actually doesn't have a boss tied to it, but we need to unlock a quest after it, and the only way we can unlock that quest after is by doing this one.
Yeah, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cleanse the traffic light. Basically, we had a bunch of SCPs that are running loose.
Yeah.
And we gotta go tame them. We gotta go capture them.
And this is also a very cool shield strat where he's gonna go up here where we fought Langston. Or not Langston, sorry, Salvador.
Oh, we got warped back. That's fine. That's fine though.
But yeah, basically he's gonna go over there and he's gonna try to loop back around with the perfect timing to get in there.
We turn back.
Yeah.
Okay, we're seeing it's yellow right now, so we have to go away. We do not want it to be red when we go there. We need to get as close as we can while it's green. Ooh.
Oh.
It's okay, it's still fat, but it's red light, green light.
Yeah. That was still really good.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And you also saw the height control there. It is very, very easy to go way, way too high when you're doing shielding, especially when you turn around. And you just saw how amazing Ashley was at this.
Again, Ashley makes it look very easy, but it's not. No, it's not.
It's not at all.
All right, so we're gonna blow this up. We're gonna throw this here because we're gonna need it later. And this is easily the scariest side quest to do, especially in a marathon setting, because this is the only one where if we die, it's soft locked. You can't back this up, pretty much. So hopefully we're not gonna see any of that.
And there's a lot that can go wrong as well.
So basically, we found a guy. He's wounded, and the medic was sent him through and left the medic behind. So we're going to find our lost medic here, and we're gonna clipping out of bounds and floating over to the end of this Ocean View Motel puzzle.
Yet again, landing in the Ocean View Motel. Let's go.
And that right there saves 3 minutes because that Ocean View Motel is completely random. That is the slowest one that we could do. We're gonna clear out these enemies. I'm gonna try and save this explosive prop because I kind of need it to clip out later.
Yeah, not every prop for clipping is equal. There are some that are significantly better than other ones.
All right.
Dude,
you can't say that.
Yeah.
True.
So that is the medic we're talking about. And essentially the quest wants you to guide him back to Horowitz.
Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I just completely blanked and fast traveled away.
You're good. He wants you to guide you from his spot all the way back to Horowitz, and you get to a bunch of fights and have to do with waves of enemies as you're trying to get back there. We're going to try and skip all of that. So we are essentially going to have him follow us, and we're going to try and be out of bounds as much as we can, while also hitting any important triggers that's needed to have him continue to follow us. It's very weird, and it breaks all the time. So again, if you see him do anything weird or like stand still for a long time or move in a
I'm waiting on this guy.
weird way, it's because of Wells. So like we have to wait for him to open this door. And
Come on, we know you can
Go.
do it. Let's go.
All right, come on, buddy.
Come on, buddy.
Come on.
Come on.
trigger.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay, so coming up is actually the Wells Fargo skip. That is what this is called. And this is where the game can soft lock. So this is very, very important that he gets this. And it's pretty hard as well.
There we go.
Oh, let's
Nice.
go.
Nice. And I think that was pretty good.
That was so clean.
This run really does have the best glitch. I love it so much.
Oh,
so obviously
yeah.
Wells Fargo is because we want to make Wells go
Excuse
far.
Wells.
Excuse us. Yeah, we have to. This is one of our other items on our list here.
This is like when you're like coming home from work and you like pick up like something from the grocery store. We're basically doing the
Yeah.
same thing there.
When it was clear we couldn't contain the
Nice.
Also, don't worry about the clocks.
power was ordered.
Oh, yeah. We'll fight that later. Don't worry about that.
Wells seems to have gotten a bit of a speed boost, almost like he's teleported near us because we're doing all of those things.
Yeah, so this is... We're just trying to get back to... was it Horowitz?
Yes.
Yeah, Horowitz.
Horowitz. Yep.
And something that you might not know is that...
Before I forget, I'm just gonna equip this.
Oh, yeah. So we can do this fight very, very well. But if we die at all, we have to basically do this whole segment again.
Yeah,
which is-
and that's just your run's dead if you die to this
Yeah,
fight,
yeah.
basically.
And something that's...
Oh, unfortunate. He's a little stuck and confused here.
We're not like messed up completely yet. We still have a chance to fix it.
Yeah, he just
But
gets.
he
a
sees
little
those boxes
confused.
under the grid and he's just like, oh, I can't move. They're
Come on,
terrifying.
buddy.
This is partially our fault from the early out of bounds, but also even when you're doing this entirely inbound, sometimes he gets like really slow on this
Yeah.
on the stairwell. And he's
There he
Oh,
goes.
Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go. Thanks for waking up finally.
Also want to mention, he has clearance level 9. Jesse, who is the director of the entire Federal Bureau of Control, has clearance of like 5.
It makes no sense.
and right here, he loves to just decide to not want to talk to us.
He's like, no, to go away.
Oh,
But he seemed to want to do it that time.
Yeah.
I guess he knew we were...
nice.
Locked out.
Yep, so now we're coming back to Horowitz. We can, help him. We got a medic. We can help save it. Oh, man.
Unfortunately, he's not doing so hot.
So this is the next upcoming boss. Horowitz actually has something kind of interesting about him. His headshot hitbox is not his head. It's like right above him. So when you see us aiming, we're aiming kind of like right above to try and hit that, which isn't the easiest, but does a lot of damage, as you can see.
Yeah.
Trying to get more pull-throughs, trying to get that headshot.
There we go.
go.
Look at that
Chunk.
life just get
It
chunked.
just chunks.
Oh, he's won.
A little bit more. There.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Nice.
And that is another boss down.
You can go after that, yeah. All right, so because we grabbed this, we're gonna use that to set up shield to get our last altered item in this sector, and then we're going to go back to doing regular story stuff for just a second.
So right now you're getting the hand, right?
Getting the hand chair. I might have gone too high though. We'll see.
Alright, so he's basically just going to the medical bay.
I think we're good.
Yeah?
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's go. Alright, so that's one of the other objects of power. Not objects of power, altered items that you had to get. And now you're getting letters, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do
Cool.
go do letters. And while we're in letters, we're gonna go talk to Dylan, which again ties back into the main quest line progression.
Like you were saying, Demonic, he's not maybe doing so.
Yeah. So once we finished up these letters, which this is kind of a cool section.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically a sector that goes through a bunch of people's mail, and if they write anything weird to anybody, then that might be an altered item. They go investigate it. So these are some spooky letters that are presumably tied to that in some way, shape, or form that are actually moving. However, the first time they move, it's always in a fixed pattern. So we don't really need to do any guessing game, thankfully. That'd be really annoying RNG. But after this, we're going to go talk to Dylan. And Dylan has...
We're going to hope for a fight to spawn in here.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
It doesn't look like it's happening. That's fine, though. Oh, I was slow. Okay, that's fine. We're just
Fine.
going to...
You just wait right here, and it'll go back to the same spot eventually. Oh.
Oh. It's like playing whack-a-mole.
Exactly.
You know, like everyone's mail does, right?
Yeah, you know.
That does not want to come back.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't.
On the bright side,
there we go.
There we
have
go.
more time to wait.
I'm going to try one more thing to try and get this fight to spawn in, just because it lets us do something really cool. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to come back.
It doesn't work.
There we go.
Oh, let's go.
All right, let's hope this guy doesn't bully me too much. Okay, so we have the fight there. That forces us into a combat state, and that lets us use abilities for just a brief period of time in the central executive area. So we're gonna use that to try and fly directly to Dylan. Gonna get as close as we can. All right, we're a little high.
Oh,
I think you can save this. I think you can save this.
I'm just gonna. There we go.
Nice.
Let's go.
so what was cool about that was the place he was like actually activating Shieldy from is called an NCA area. It's called a non-combat area basically, and you can't do any abilities in there. But when you activate, like,
What do we do now?
Anchor.
Yeah.
We go talk to Langston. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the mid game is always like I forget if I'm not looking at my live split.
This route
So,
also changes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact about that skip, for all you Emily fans, because I know we actually did have some in there, you're actually supposed to talk to her, and then you get a key to unlock the door, and then you can go talk to Dylan. Because we skip her, and the name of the mission is Face of the Enemy, we call that Face of the Emily skip.
So now you're doing anchor, right?
Yeah, we're doing anchor. And this is, I'm not going to lie, a little scary. We're probably not going to die to anything but me being slow, though. So we're going to hopefully not be slow.
Yeah. This boss is also the main reason that we get the sniper variant of the service weapon, is because it allows us to basically skip one of his cycles if we do it right.
I'm actually going to equip this.
The fuck is that?
The anchor. It says right there on screen, Jesse.
Yeah, exactly.
So his gimmick is he kind of opens up, and that's where he's vulnerable, but he shoots out a bunch of damage. And the fight wants you to go around the arena, throwing clocks and stuff at him. We try and speed it up just a little, because we just need a little bit of damage to skip a cycle. To try and get him down just a teeny bit before we throw the object. And then we're just basically going to kind of continuously wrap around.
This is very tight as well.
Yeah. You don't have a whole lot of time, especially if you're trying to like get your energy refilled.
Yeah.
And then right about here, you can see some flashing that we're about to get a few enemy spawns who don't usually mess with you, but it is a marathon, so never say never. But he completely destroys the fight.
Nice. Let's
There
go.
we got the cycle skip, too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with these fights is whenever they go well, they look pretty easy, self-contained. But if you mess anything up or anything goes wrong, it kind of just snowballs. So,
There.
all right. So we quit out, and then we're immediately going to go into spoiler alert former 2. But first, I'm gonna upgrade my energy a little bit because I forgot to do that.
Yep. So we did Langston's Runaway Part 1. This is Langston's Runaway Part 2. We're not going to actually finish it. We're just going to get the first object, which is going to be a pink flamingo.
Like you do.
Movement? Yeah.
Yep. And then this fight's going to be a little bit different. You have a different arena, which is kind of the main gimmick. Also, we got stuck in that doorway, which pushed us forward a little bit. It saves like...
Oh, wait, that's
few
so cool.
seconds.
I actually never noticed that.
It was one of those things where it's like, I'm surprised we didn't notice it sooner. But
Yeah.
we found it now, so that's what matters. So basically the same as the former one fight, kind of same concept. Try to hit it in the eye as much as you can. It has like the worm, it has like the... I don't know what that's called for an eye. And then the actual like light where it's coming from, if you hit it directly on the light, it does more damage.
The hell?
There's like a crit function.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 2 crits, though. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we try to
Not
get this
cooperating
done.
here.
Yeah. Sometimes you can get it in 2 cycles. Typically 3 or 4 is the more common like runner average.
Ooh.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go.
Nice.
Let's go. Former 2 down.
And so now we're going to go back to doing mainline story beats for a little bit. So we're gonna be going for what's called a hole-in-one. I don't have any confidence in this, but we're gonna give it our
No,
best.
it's fine.
Yeah,
This is like an iconic out of bounds in I would say the run.
Like either way,
really cool.
Either way that
but
it goes, it looks cool.
We're going
It
to
is the
try
hardest
to
game.
get through a shield all the way over here. Through here. This is so tricky. Okay, we got the first one.
There's gotta be a way to rotate these tracks. Maybe
Second one.
There's a control panel nearby.
We're turning back around.
I'm just gonna drop here.
Sure.
Yeah. This is the hardest skip in the game, no doubt. By the way,
And we will know that we got all the triggers
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
drop into this fight and it begins.
Hey, wait for it. And
Let's
we
go.
got it.
Hole in one. Let's go. Let's
Only
go.
2 people in the world can do that, and Ash is one of them.
Absolutely. In this fight, you can save time by kind of doing it the way that Ash is doing it, which is very aggressive, staying on the ground. Another way is you can kind of stand on the pedant in the middle. It's
All right, that's a
little bit
completely
safer.
random drop that I'm gonna equip here.
Nice. Oh, let's go. Good mod.
Yep. Another thing as well is with these exploding guys, if you are dodging, you can actually avoid getting damaged because you're invulnerable during that frame. Another thing about these flying guys, you actually want to throw something at them to kind of bait them into like juking, and then you can throw another thing and you can kind of topple them on. So the idea is usually wait for your energy to be full so you can throw multiple, because if you can only throw one, he's just going to dodge it and you're not going to be able to capitalize on it. But he completely destroyed that fight. We should have one more enemy spawning in. Where if we catch him in time.
Let's go. He actually
Nice.
spawned quickly. Let's go. Sometimes he wants to take his time hanging out up there, showing up, but this time,
And he
done.
didn't quit the menu too early. You can actually quit the menu after that screen and he has to redo all of that.
Yeah.
So
That's
he was
so
careful.
annoying.
Nice.
All right, so
That
now,
hole in one was hype, guys.
all right, so
Yeah,
now
it's hard.
I want to hear for Emily fans because we're gonna talk to her one last time.
Thanks for showing it.
So we're talking to her because she's going to tell us about Tomasi, the very first guy that we fought at the very beginning. He's back. He's causing trouble, but we're not gonna deal with him right now. We're gonna deal with him later. Because for now we're gonna do one more mission. One more. We do that, right? We do one more.
Are you doing mold?
No. I'm doing finish tango.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I accidentally went to the wrong place. I'm at Alt F4 there.
It's fine.
Yeah, funny enough, Alt F4ing sometimes is actually just faster than straight up like waiting for the load.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird thing to tell people, like a strat is to Alt F4 your game.
All right.
We're
right.
still on track.
Yeah, so we're doing finish tango, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
The boring mission.
All right. So we're gonna go to Central Research, and we're gonna go straight to the Ashtray Maze. If you play this game casually, that is the most iconic sequence in the game. And I'm just gonna be real with you. We skip it. All right.
But not right now. A little bit later.
Yeah, we're not skipping it right this second, but whenever we do later on, we skip it. So this is probably about the only thing you're going to see of the Ashtray Maze, which is cool because if you haven't played this game and it looks cool, you should 100% play this game for this part alone. This is like one of the coolest parts I've ever seen in any video game.
To be clear, this isn't actually boring. It just gives us a little bit of a break after flying so
Oh, okay.
all over the place.
Yeah.
It's a well-deserved break after everything we've been doing.
Yeah. So basically, we can skip everything that lets us actually do anything. So
I got kicked out of Shield. That's unlucky.
damn.
It's okay. Shield, again, this goes back to what we've been talking about how Shield is a really unique move.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll drop, sometimes it's this.
Yeah,
And
if you catch a ledge, you mantle, and that mantling animation takes you out of it.
Yeah, and it's kind of hardware dependent. Like this is acting a little bit weird
Yeah.
different than how it does at home.
Yeah. Also, there's a lot of like weird out of bounds geometry that's not really fully consistent, and it's like it can really mess you up.
So we're going to the top left here.
All those question marks.
And just if
Yes.
you just get a sense of how fast we're going by looking at the red arrow there on the map. You'll see that especially later.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
nice.
Nice, let's go.
All right, do you have a timer?
Let's go.
Do you have a timer up?
I got you.
All right.
5604.
All right, just give me a shout out when.
So the reason he was asking for a timer there is because when you hit that button, we actually didn't know this for a while, but when you hit that button, it's 90 seconds for the triggers to spawn to continue and finish the mission. Normally the game wants you to do you're trying to find Ahti. He's on vacation. We're not going to bother him. So we're just going to go straight to the end of the mission. This is like one of the few levels that does not have a lot of triggers, so we can pretty much just skip all of it. But we need to wait 90 seconds after that time in order to continue on.
So while we wait, I want to tell you guys a story. So about a couple days ago, before I left, I saw a YouTube video pop up on my feed. It was a Halo speedrun world record. And then I looked at the schedule and I found out that guy is actually coming up right after this run. So if you like Halo, you should definitely stick around because that guy is sick at what he does.
We doing Bucks?
This is also a little reference. So this used to be a trick, and it still is a trick in.
Let's see if we can get it here.
Yeah. In No Shieldy, this is a trick called Box McFloaty. This was very integral to the any % run for a very long time. You can just kind of push up and go flying. I've never seen it this high before. That was amazing.
Yeah, there's like a naming convention. Like Shieldy is also called Shieldy McSorry. And yeah, Slidey McGunny. And I think it's like Slidey McStairsticky McPoggers or something.
Shout out to Nico with
Never
this
fight
thing. So I'm looking on my timer here.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Yeah?
Yep.
When do I go?
No, you're good.
Oh, I go now?
Yep, cool.
Okay. All right, so we have to go back. We have to wait for the fog to change, and then we know if we hit this trigger when we get the multimedia thing to pop up in the bottom
down
right.
in the corner.
Finish.
There we go.
Let's go. All right.
This is also a really good song.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Up ahead. You see it?
So this is the part of the game where Ahti gives us a way to navigate the ashtray maze. We obviously, we're glitching a little bit, so we're going to be skipping it. Again, it kind of works out in your favor if you have not played the game, so you don't get spoiled on the best part about it. But now we are kind of heading into the end game. So it turns out, I won't spoil too much.
Well, first we're gonna do like rapid fire, like on our last couple bosses.
Oh, I was getting too far into the end.
Yeah, no, you're good. So we're gonna fight Essage here. If you want to talk about Essage.
Yeah, so Essage is essentially the closest that this game will get to a PvP, where we are going into a mirror dimension. Normally you have to do a bunch of stuff in order to access the mirror dimension. However, it's just right on the other side, physically in the map world, so we can kind of just fly over to it.
There we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the normal side. We're gonna hit that camera and come over to here, and you can see it's looking a little bit different, a little bit more blue. But once we get back in, perfect.
Nice.
Now we are in a mirrored world, so everything in here is mirrored. All the text is mirrored and all that stuff. And even when you speak, you're speaking backwards.
Hence, Essage.
Yeah, so Essage, if you haven't figured it out yet, is ESSEJ, which is just Jesse's name backwards.
Because we got this outfit earlier, it looks like a perfect mirror reflection of ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
So this is one of the few boss fights that we actually don't want to use the grip, which is the pistol form of the weapon. We actually want to use the sniper variation. Or, I'm sorry, backwards.
Reverse,
we want to use the grip because he's a very fast-moving target, so it's very hard to land that singular sniper shot.
I'm just gonna start right after here.
Yep. So she has kind of 3 phases to her, and she's using the same abilities, the same kind of weapon forms that you can get in the game, including a grenade launcher, which we don't get, so a little unfair. She'll start flying, throwing objects at you, but right now we're just having her on the ground. So she's gonna be trying to
it's
shoot
not
us.
behaving right now.
Yeah, she can also steal your launch object as well,
Yep.
which is really, really annoying.
Where did she go? What?
Oh, that was unfortunate.
We might die here.
All good, all good.
We want to wait for her. She'll eventually die out and then spawn into her second form.
Nice. Oh, almost.
Okay.
Ah,
You know,
it's all good.
You know, she is Jessie. As we've seen, Jessie is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
So now we're playing as Essage for the rest of the game, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I lost control or lost sight of her, and she just got somewhere else. And like I said before, it kind of just snowballs out.
She does know what powers you have. She can.
Yeah.
It seems that way anyway.
But just because we died once, I'm gonna go ahead and get all the upgrades I can.
Oh, yeah.
Just so we maybe don't do that again.
Yeah, these last few fights are the hardest bosses in the game.
Yeah, that's
And-
why we do them last.
Yeah. So it kind of makes it where it's just like you could be on a really good run and then just something like that happens. she'll basically, like, if she headshots you or just gets, like, a bunch of good damage down, like, there's not a whole lot you can do. But we'll try this fight again. Hopefully she'll be a little bit more willing to play ball.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I got stuck in the wall.
Huh.
Yeah, it's just happening a lot right now for some reason.
Yeah, so sometimes things that can happen is you can grab an object, but you're grabbing something that's, like, behind another thing or in the wall, or it just cannot get to you, so it just stays permanently stuck there until you drop it. Now she has her own version of launch, her own version of shield. Thankfully, she can't do shieldy because that would otherwise.
Oh, no,
yeah.
it'd be over.
That'd be terrible.
No.
That'd be kind of sick, actually.
I don't think I want to fight against that.
No.
And now she's going to be flying and throwing stuff at you.
So this is basically like the Tomasi enemy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
And
normal
so,
flying.
yeah. And normally when you get to this fight, it's not super late into the game, but you're kind of like evenly matched with powers in scale. But there we go.
SH down.
Message down, even with the disadvantage. And because even though this is called all bosses and we technically defeated the boss, this is a carryover from when the category was a little bit different. It was all archered items, I believe.
Yeah.
So because we haven't cleansed the object yet, we kind of just have it carried over. And so we cleansed the mirror, wait for it, and now we can continue on.
Yeah, every other boss in the game pretty much works out, so we don't actually have to wait that long. That's just the one exception.
Some of them, it's considered cleansed the moment you kill them, and other times you just have to interact with them, but it's like a second after.
So now we're gonna go out and we're doing mold 1 here.
Yeah.
Another really hard boss as well.
Yeah, this is like whenever people rank like the hardest boss fights in the game casually, this is up there.
Definitely.
The game only has 10 bosses, and honestly, all of them except for maybe Golden is very difficult.
Yeah. It's like Ash was saying before, when they go right here and you're seeing these bosses get like really sped through, it may not be obvious, but seriously, they can do a ton of damage.
We're also really breaking the game here. So normally you're...
What?
That happens. Normally you're trying to get I guess like not a cure, but like you're trying to make yourself immune from the mold, because if you try to go down there, you'll actually take damage. There's a death plane and you'll just die immediately. We're going to do a little bit of weird stuff. So we're going to actually come down here. And if we can do this right...
Try to get far enough.
Ooh! No, I'm just kidding. This is intended. You are intended to die here.
So this is the intended death.
Yep. So instead of trying to go get the cure for it by going all around the facility, collecting things, and coming back to that lady who will make you immune, we're just going to do something called a CP slam.
Almost.
Gonna take a few times. This is kind of like shieldy, where essentially we're going to try and fast travel as we're slamming towards the ground.
I think that's good.
See if it works, and if it did, we should be ending up...
Nice.
Right below the floor. So we can basically just float all the way down to the final boss.
Yeah, where am I?
It's a little hard to
Just
see.
hold ANS
I can
and
go
turn
down
around.
here?
Oh, we're a little
Okay, it loaded in
try that
really
again.
slow.
This is like, it's a very
yeah,
because it's completely dark.
Well, it's also a little hardware dependent. Like it depends on how fast that it loads back around you.
I say that everybody has their own individual copy of Control.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a joke.
That's not just
Their own little
actually true.
setups for how different things work. Like I have a specific mouse movement that I do here that I just got nailed down.
Different buttons sometimes that people hold for shielding and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Every runner has their own keybinds as well.
Own keybinds, own play style. It's
Yeah.
I think this is. Where are we?
I think you're going down there, yeah.
Are we in a good place?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
That's what
cool.
we're looking for.
Nice.
And perfect.
Nice.
So we just essentially skipped all the quests to just get to the boss fight.
Yeah, this saves like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Demonic, did you want to break down this old growth fight? This is height.
So we get these 3 giant tentacles. We have to wait for the health bar to show up, and just exactly what I would say. We want to try and hit those blue things as they're attacking us. It'll either try to slam into us, or it'll kind of do that shot. We want to stay off the ground as much as we can, and we're just trying to hit these targets as much as possible whenever we're able to. We want this fight to end early because these things will explode, and it just does a lot of damage.
There we go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Nice.
First try. Let's go.
That was clean as
That was
well.
clean. He can nuke you, but unfortunately,
Yeah,
fortunately,
he was
it went
just
the other
about
way.
to. Yeah.
So last boss fight of the run is going to be Tomasi 2.
Yeah.
this is one of the fights that still gives me grief to this day because it is just that hard.
I've never seen a single runner that's consistently been able to beat him every single time quickly.
Yeah.
It's a very large arena, and you have a lot of ads. You have a lot of monsters that are floating that are trying to kill you. You have ones on the ground that are trying to kill you. And you have what's called the Hiss Distorted, which is the Banshee that we saw earlier, where it's invisible until it's right next to you, and then it puts you down to 1 HP. And you just have to hope that it doesn't hit you while you're trying to fight this boss who's also throwing things at you that'll essentially knock you to 1 HP. But we're getting really good shots onto him, actually. We're going to send him upwards. It's going to make him drop his items as he tries to dodge, so he can't actually hit us. We have more floating guys that are going to try and do damage. We want to time these dodges perfectly. He's so low. This is a really fight.
Oh, he's
one more.
now. No. There we go.
Nice.
Let's go. First try. Let's go. That boss is so tough.
Down to the wire.
Let's go.
As you saw right there, he was one shot. He was literally, there was an enemy that was about to explode right behind him.
All right, so now all we have left to do is beat the game. So now you can talk about Polaris.
Yeah, so Polaris is the final mission of the game. Basically, we are trying to save Hadron, who is Polaris, who's in our head, kind of. It gets weird. I'm not going to explain too much of it because, honestly, it's too confusing for me.
And then really quick right here. You see the maze down there on the bottom right that we were talking about? Now you see this little arrow? We're not going to that maze. We are flying all the way over there, like before when Bonnie said with the question marks. Coming down here.
Oh,
let's go. Now we are all the way. That was
not have been more
clean.
perfect.
That was clean. And sometimes that object won't actually have collision right there, which is why you saw him shoot it, just to make sure that he could land on it.
Yeah. So now we're coming in here. We're basically trying to save Hedron from the hiss, where it turns out that's a bunch of stuff that happened in the background, but basically hiss bad, Hedron good. We're trying to save Hedron.
And there's a skip right here where we take some stuff out of order. Do you want to go through that, Luna?
Yeah, I'll just say it. One of the things that made me fall in love with this game was watching both of the GDQ runs of it previously of this skip. It just looks really cool. There's a door, a bunch of puzzles, like you were saying. It's going to be a lot of stuff kind of a little bit out of order. We're going to do a shield, come out here so we can make sure that we get out of bounds. Come up here.
It's really hard to see.
Yeah. If it's not just you, it's us.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to come here. Look at this from behind. We're not doing the door up front. Look over our shoulder. Use launch and use. Oh, wow, we've managed to get in from the other side. It's pretty sick. And then come back around. The game's getting real confused right now.
Yeah, we don't have a UI. It's trying to teleport us to the cutscene, but we haven't hit the right triggers for it. So we're going to interact with the environment.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Wow, we managed to do it without even doing the thing we were going to talk about.
I've never seen that.
Fantastic.
And we're going to watch cutscene.
Yep.
Hands on the keyboard. Doing
everyone,
we're all doing this because if you don't.
Well, everyone get ready to say hi to Jesse. All right.
Hi.
All right. So the cutscene auto skipped. We didn't touch that. It automatically skips. That means we hit all the triggers. That skips the first 3 satellite interactions. If you ran the game before that, you know how bad those are. You essentially have to hold an interaction for 7 seconds while enemies are trying to hit you. If they hit you one time with a stray bullet, anything, your run's most likely dead or you're going to be in a lot of pain.
Yeah,
so we skip all 3 of those and we're heading directly to the 4th satellite.
So when you get that cutscene, hands off everything.
That's why you saw. That's why you saw a bunch of control runners.
You have like
do
a
this.
reflex.
So as Demonic was saying, we're going to come right here. We're getting on these siphons. We have to clean. We have to cleanse each one. You see him holding down E here. It's fine. No. All good. These enemies can be very annoying. They can shoot you off of those. But we want to just go ahead, throw some stuff at them, try to kind of keep them off of us for a little bit. This part is really, really tricky. I don't know how you guys did this when you had to do 6.
They also cheat because they'll actually shoot you through a wall with a rocket launcher.
But it's okay. We're going to get rid of him here.
I think we're good now.
Now we're going to cleanse it. And she can't move at all while she's holding this.
I panicked.
All good.
I also want to mention that if this was a world record run, your run's dead right there.
Yeah.
Very.
It's just nothing you can do.
But now we have the first siphon down. Let's go. And that's really kind of like the hardest one right there.
Yeah, so we have 2 more siphons, and then we get to the end of the game. Oh, that's okay. Thankfully, these last 2 siphons are actually the easiest ones. I've lost 1 run to both Siphon 5 and Siphon 6. Only 1 single time, and I have a lot of attempts.
Yeah.
So it's very much a rare thing.
Pretty consistent.
Oh.
The angle that they have there to shoot him is like just not nearly as bad as it is in the first.
The game kind of has a thing where it gives you a little bit of help, so it kind of makes shots land right near you rather than hitting you directly.
So we're going back up. That's 6 Siphon coming here. And we've never even talked about it, but really quick, you'll see, you've seen it a bunch. He's using this ground slam ability right here. Right there allows him to get directly on it, get right onto that. If we get hit, you saw it before, it's fine. We'll launch some stuff out, get back on, but we don't even need to do it because all of them are cleansed right now.
And time's going to be coming up here when the cutscene starts. And...
Hello?
There we time. Go. Let's go.
So kind of a sad ending. Jesse gets infected by the hiss, and that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, that was a pretty good run. Aside from, Essage could have gone a little bit better, but, get a little unlucky here and there. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out.
Sure.
But hold on. What's going on with the credits here? Leave your insides by the door.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I've never seen this before.
Egg breaks down now.
You didn't. I know you have some mods, but that wouldn't.
I've never seen this before.
Did Malga
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I've never seen this before. I hope this isn't
an
breaking the
intel
monitor.
GDQ first? Yeah.
Tech. Can we figure out what's going on with this?
Are y'all good?
Yeah, we're good.
This doesn't look
What's going
good.
on with the PC?
Yeah.
This was not us. You used the right flash drive, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
All right, fake.
Never mind. Okay, there we go. Actually, that's not it. That's a false ending in the game. We're now coming into, weirdly enough, one of my favorite sections in the game. Jessie is in her worst nightmare, which is being an unpaid intern, doing a whole bunch of random office tasks. Terrible tasks. You have and in terms of the run, it's pretty simple, if annoying for her as well as us. She has a couple tasks you can do. She can pick up coffee cups. She can do some faxes, some copies.
And luckily, this
mail.
is busted, so we can just wail on it as fast as we can.
Everyone wishes they had that in the office.
Yeah.
Just hit it really fast. But this segment, despite seeming kind of just a little bit silly, is actually really meaningful for the narrative. If you look at it, again, we talked about this as kind of a nightmarish section for Jessie. We're skipping through it really fast, but all of these people we've met throughout the game, including Emily, you see right there, Langston, they're all kind of basically saying, look, the new girl, she's not good enough to be here. She's not good at her job. She shouldn't have any confidence in herself. The one person I might note right there who does have confidence in us is Ati, fan favorite. This is going to be Jessie. She's gradually kind of coming around to saying, you know what? Maybe I should believe in myself. Maybe I am actually special. Maybe I'm worthy of being the director, and I can actually make things happen. You see right here, kind of talking a little bit, but Demonic's been talking about Polaris throughout this entire run, this kind of voice that she has in the back of her mind. This has sort of kind of been her little shield in terms of being able to deal with things. Pretty nightmarish, to be honest with you.
Yeah, basically that's the reason why she doesn't need to wear the HRA is because Polaris was protecting her, and then Polaris died right there, so that's why we got infected. But we're gonna learn that that's not exactly how it worked. It's a little bit different. And we have Ati again, just kind of guiding us. He's very happy with us. We're still,
there we go.
Just so you know. Oh yeah, we also got a fake.
That was a little swag.
Nice, that was a little swag strat. New right back around there.
So if you mantle into a cutscene, it tries to take you both where you were mantling to and to the cutscene trigger where it was supposed to put you, and it kind of breaks the game. There is kind of a fun little one that doesn't save time. There's one that you can accidentally do that will hard lock your game. So make sure not to do that.
We don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Never happened.
And so you see it right here is what I was talking about. You'll see her transformation. She says, no, I'm coming back. I am the director. She is back in her original outfit, getting her gun. She says, you know what? I'm going to take control of this. I'm going to go over. And that's why the mission is actually called Take Control. Now she says, I am going to free Dylan from the hiss. And I know you guys know this whole upcoming section really well. From Ocean View to the final movement. There's also a pretty cool music video, I might add, coming up here, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, y'all wanna sit and watch that for a minute?
I think so.
Yeah.
We have plenty of time.
Do we have hype for that?
I think so.
Something I can't.
Oh, dynamite.
I don't know what. The motel is a place of power, of change, a place to pass through.
Just, like you do.
Everything.
Dr. Darling with the sweep.
If you don't know, that's Alan Wake right there.
Oh yeah.
I want to go.
Control is basically an all-star cast. They got all the people. Jesse's from Quantum Break. Yeah, they really like.
Trench is from Max Payne. Darling is from Alan Wake. And there's probably more overlap, I'm sure.
Look at these dynamite moves.
Yeah.
Seriously.
This is also like after a really intense narrative plot where you're just like exhausted, and then this comes out to give you that little bit of an extra boost just to carry you over the finish line.
Nice.
It's so silly. I love it. All right, I'm going to go and beat the game now.
All right, that was just enough of the bridge we needed.
Yep.
All right, so right now there's
shout out to Nvidia.
Shout out.
We still got the swag.
Oh, that was a pretty clean like.
It's something with the drivers we don't know. Sometimes it does that.
It happens on the GDQ computers a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
He also did like a swag movement strat. It does save time, but it doesn't save a lot. He like basically missed the ground slam, which was pretty cool.
Just sort of shoots you out of the gate there.
But now we're going to reach Dylan.
Yeah.
So normally you're going onto these platforms and you're doing like multiple really, really difficult fights. Every enemy is level 30. They've normally been level 5.
I'm going to do a manip here.
But-
Just so these guys spawn back there.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
However, Jessie is also just extremely overpowered. The board has given her full control of everything in order to save Dylan and stop the hiss from pouring into our world. Normally, you have to fight those guys and it raises more platforms, but if you just fly to them, you can just go to the next ones.
If it'll come up here.
Should pop up here in a second.
And we have to
we
keep
go.
dashing right here so we can make
Yep.
sure we make it
You
right.
can't fall too much, otherwise you will die.
Yeah.
But we didn't do that.
Oh, that was clean.
And then there's a huge wall here. However, there is just a couple little holes that they didn't fill. And once you get through these holes, we always say that's it. You're like, you've made it. So always try to
Nice,
and
let's
there
go.
we go.
All right.
Time is actually going to be coming up here in a minute when we interact with Dylan. We just got to climb this giant pyramid and cleanse the hiss out of him.
Oh,
And that's it.
nice.
GG.
Actual time.
Very good.
Sick run.
118 RTA, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Especially for watching the cutscene too.
Also, I think this might be the only run that had a fake start and a fake ending.
Oh yeah.
Some quick shout outs. I want to shout out first and foremost Brian Otto for making it possible for me to be here. And then also I want to shout out my girlfriend. She's in the crowd. If it wasn't for her, I could not be here today. And then I want to shout out all these gentlemen on the couch. Everyone flew from all around the world. I want to shout out my buddy Kevin for making the mod. He's also here. And I want to shout out my other friend Adam for making him come. And then I want to shout out my family and all my friends who I told about this run who are all watching at home. I love you guys. It really means the world to me. Like Bryce said, it's really humbling when people watch you play a game. So that's what we're here for. I want to
shout out Tonsu, the main glitch hunter.
Oh, absolutely.
He's done so much for this game. Like, it's incredible. He basically found all the strats. Like, it's
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
Before and after Shieldy.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't for Tansu, this run wouldn't look as good as it does,
definitely.
frankly.
You guys have any?
Well, where can people find you?
Oh, yeah. You can find me on Twitch, same username, Ashley93oBTW. It's a mouthful, but luckily it's on the screen for you. You want to plug yourselves?
Nah.
No?
I'm not going to plug myself, but I am going to plug all of you. Thank you so much to everyone for being here in person at PAX with GDQ, as well as tuning in online. Yeah. We love this game. We hope you got a little bit of why we do so much. I will say, it's very friendly runner community. I know when I joined much later than everyone else on this couch. People are so helpful. We would highly encourage you to check it out. It's really fun to be able to do a lot of those tricks. There's some great tutorials. Bro has one. It's another new one from Clay, another runner. I did want to shout out Clay. And definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun.
And then real quick, we got
Shawshank Redemption.
There we go. That's the real ending.
That's the real ending right there. All right. Yeah. Well, that's about it for us. Thank you very much.
All right, Ashley, thank you so much for that incredible control run. I enjoyed that a lot. That was a blast from the past for me. Stay tuned, folks. We have our finale run coming up. It is going to be Halo CE ran by Sloth. Stay tuned.